So we keep seeing these minor dips in gold prices, testing support, taking profit. What does it all mean? Is now the time to buy? And can we ever really know? And then the big question, what if it's not even that important to begin with? The biggest consideration that most people start with when they're buying gold is when to buy. It's the price right. And there are really two ways to look at this. You either try to time it, try to get the best price in your gold purchases, or you just buy and move on. And trying to time those gold purchases, it takes a considerable amount of time, considerable amount of energy. If you enjoy it, no big deal, because time is worth it. There are things that you can do to bring your costs down, but if you don't enjoy watching the charts, hunting for those best prices, well, all it's really doing is jamming up your brain with one more unresolved question. Now, if you're on the hunt for 20 ounces of gold all at one time, well, this is a big deal. I understand how that could be a hard call. Now, I'm not sure that I could take that second route of just buying and moving on, one single purchase, because, well, the price difference is 20 times as significant as it would be if you're just buying 1 ounce of gold over time. Now, another is that I just would never forget that cost. Any time that I saw the spot price below that number that I paid, well, it would hit me. I might feel like I made the wrong decision, and that's why this is so hard. When you spread that out, though, you average out that risk, and there's a point where, at least to me, it just makes more sense to buy and just move on rather than getting caught up in price, rather than getting caught up in that analysis paralysis. Now, I've mentioned before that I haven't been buying since the price spike above 1850. The important part there, though, is that I had hit a running goal. I'm not working up to anything significant. I'm not catching up. Now, if I hadn't caught that goal, I'd just be trying to find modest dips, buying, and then not really worrying if spot dropped lower the next day. Today'd be a good example of that. When spot dropped this morning, I could have just bought, moved on, and not worried about it. I actually just did that on a series coin that I've been waiting for. Perth Mint finally released that Phoenix in the Chinese Myths and Legends series, and I bought when spot price hit 1992. It's lower than that at the moment. It happens, especially if you're watching intraday prices, which is when I jumped. I mean, I wouldn't have even been able to make it to a local coin shop to catch that 1992. It was back above 2000 within a few hours. Now, if the price drops to 1950, though, I still won't be worried about a purchase that I was happy to make in 1992. And that idea is something that I figured we'd take a look at today, because sometimes the price just doesn't really matter. This won't be the case for everyone. For some, price is the most important thing. If you're buying 20 ounces because you need to sell that inside of a year, you're hoping to make a profit, well, it's important that you buy at the right time. But if you're buying gold to hold for decades, does it really matter? What if you're doing it because you just really enjoy it? What if you're doing it because you need a backup for some kind of wild, some kind of unlikely event? Well, any of those ideas should change your mind. So let's look at some historical numbers to get some perspective. In January of 1990, the price of gold was $400. In 2000, it was $282. And yeah, that's right, that went down. Let's come back to that. In 2010, it was $1,113. And in 2020, again in January, it was $1,520. Now, the main point here is that gold has increased significantly in price over time. It's safe to assume that it's going to continue to do that. At the same time, though, that dip in 2000 is a really good example of something you should be aware of. Sometimes it does go down. There are going to be years that gold doesn't look great. And if you sell during that time, like the Bank of England did between 1999 and 2002, well, the price you paid to buy the metal is going to become a consideration. You can lose money on a sale if you have to do it at a bad time. If your plan, though, is to just build it up, maybe you're going to hand it down to the next generation, maybe you're going to just hold on to it for years and years for yourself, sell it someday when it suits you, well, the purchase price analysis, it's not that big of a deal. 1992 versus 1950. If you're looking at that per ounce, well, that probably doesn't matter so much 20 years into the future. Another thing to consider is that if you enjoy a thing, spending money on it, it's a different consideration. I can think of plenty of hobbies that cost money, plenty of habits that cost money, both good habits and bad habits. Maybe you hunt, maybe you enjoy expensive bourbon, maybe you like cars, you collect pocket knives, I don't know, maybe you spend too much time at the bar. All of these things cost money, and most won't return the dollars you pour into them. But if you enjoy gold, well, it's hard to think that $50 difference on a $2,000 purchase, swing of, 2.5%, it's hard to see that as a big mistake, because buying gold is one of those few situations where you're going to get your money back out. You'll sell at a bad time, you'll get most of it back out, or you'll sell at a good time and you'll get more out. And that final idea that I mentioned is just that some things in life are more about covering what if situations. Car insurance, home insurance, life insurance, backup generator, extra food, extra boots. Some of these things will never be needed, but that doesn't mean that it was a bad move to buy them in case you ran into that need. So again, compare that $42 swing, whatever we're talking about here. And again, it's probably not a big deal. Now, the reason I thought this was a good topic today is, first of all, we're seeing some minor dips, but also that 4, maybe 5 weeks ago, the price of gold shot up. And now a lot of us are probably wondering if we should buy now because it's more or less stayed there, thinking it's only going to continue to go up, or if we wait because gold feels pretty expensive right now. I'm still in that second category, and I think history shows there are always pullbacks, but that doesn't mean it's a bad time to buy. If you're on the fence on a big purchase, wish I could help you. I can't. There's just really no way to know what's going to happen. But that's why I spread out my purchases. And that's also why I have those simple 10%, 15% drop triggers, the ones that get me to buy more. That just frees up some brain processing so I don't have to get jammed up over analyzing, overthinking it. It leaves me to enjoy it, or just get back to work, maybe get outside and enjoy something else. So let's call it good there so you can get back to enjoying something else too. Let us know what you think about these prices. Are you buying these little dips, or are these a signal that a bigger drop is coming? Do you even care? Let us know. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit that like button. If you found any of this interesting, be sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.